In this video, we're going to talk about factoring by grouping, which is a technique that you can use to factor all sorts of polynomials. So this thing is a lot easier to explain with examples, so that's what we're going to do. Let's say we have a polynomial x squared minus 15x plus 50. So the first step in factoring by grouping is to multiply the first and third coefficients. So we can imagine we have a 1 out here in front of this x squared, and then our third coefficient is going to be 50. So 1 times 50 equals 50. All right, step 2 is to find values that multiply to the value we just found and that they add to the middle number. So let's just put these in two columns. 50 is what we want to multiply to, and negative 15 is what we want to add to. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find factors of 50. So 1 times 50, if we add 1 and 50, we get 51, which is not what we want. Then we can go to maybe 2 times 25. 2 plus 25 is 27, so no. Then let's try maybe 5 and 10. So adding them is 15, but maybe if we switch these to negative 5 and negative 10, then we're good. So negative 5 times negative 10 is 50, and negative 5 plus negative 10 is negative 15. Okay, so now that we have our numbers, we move on to step 3. Rewrite polynomial with groups. So we're going to go back up to our original problem. We're going to say x squared minus 15x plus 50. And so this step, what we're going to do is we're going to replace this middle term with two separate terms. In this case, it's going to be negative 5x minus 10x. So they still add up to that negative 15, but we're just kind of rewriting it in a different way. Now, the second part of step 3 is to group them. And then finally, step 4 is to just solve this equation, or this factor these elements. And when we do that, we're going to factor each side separately. So for the first part, we're going to pull an x out. We're going to have x minus 5. And then for the second part, we're going to pull out a negative 10. So we're going to have x, and then taking negative 10 out of 50 gives us negative 5. Generally, when you see matching terms here, that means you're heading in the right direction. And then finally what we can do is we take this x here and this negative 10, and then we drop down the x minus 5. And so this is the factored form of our original equation, our original polynomial, x squared minus 15x plus 50. And what we can do, if we bring our factored form up here, we can just double check that it multiplies back out. So we could do x times x is x squared, x times negative 5 is negative 5x, then we do negative 10 times x, and negative 10 times negative 5, which is plus 50. We can combine these, x squared minus 15x plus 50. So that checks out. Now that we have the general steps laid out, we're going to run through a few more problems. So let's say we have 6y squared plus 11y plus 4. How are we going to solve this? So first, we're going to start with step 1. We're going to do 6 times 4, since this is the first coefficient and this is the third one. It's going to be 24. Then we need to find values that multiply to 24 and add to 11. So we'll form our little table here. Let's try 124, always an easy start. 1 plus 24 is 25, so that's not what we want. Okay, then we try 2 and 12. 2 plus 12 is 14. Again, not what we need. And maybe let's try 3 and 8. 3 plus 8 is 11, so this set of numbers actually looks right. Okay, step 3. We're going to rewrite our polynomial with groups. So we're going to say 6y squared plus 3y plus 8y plus 4. So I just replaced the 11y with our two new numbers here. Generally, you do want to pay attention to what these numbers are. So if we put maybe the 3 over here and the 8 over here, it's going to be more difficult to factor because 6 only shares a factor with 3. It doesn't really have as many factors with 8. So it just depends on where you want to put those. But in this case, let's try this setup. We're going to pull a 3y out of this first part, which is going to leave us with 2y plus 1. And then for the second part, we're going to pull out 4. So that's going to leave us with 2y plus 1. And again, these two numbers are matching up. So looks like we're on the right track. And then we're going to rewrite our final factored form as 3y plus 4 times 2y plus 1. Okay, that's that question. Let's try another one. This time, let's say we have 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. So multiplying the first and the third, we're going to get negative 24. And we'll just set up our table here. We want to add to negative 5. We can try, say, negative 3 and 8. If we add those up, we get 5. So that just means we just need to switch it. We're going to have 3 and negative 8. And that's going to give us negative 5. Okay. We have our numbers. On to step 3. 2x squared. I'm going to put the negative 8 first. Negative 8x plus 3 minus 12. Plus 3x minus 12. Okay, we'll group them. Let's factor this first one first. Say pull a 2x out, so we're going to have 2x minus 4. Then we'll do the second side. We're going to take a 3 out, which is going to leave us with x minus 4. We see matching terms, good sign. And then we write 2x plus 3 times x minus 4. Okay, one more problem. In this case, let's say we have 6x squared minus 26x plus 28. So step 1, multiply 6 times 28. A little bit of a bigger number here. This is going to be 168. Set up our table. We want to multiply to 168 and add to negative 26. We try 4 and 42. That's 46 over here. It's not right. Maybe 12 and 14. But we need to go negative, so it's going to be negative 12 and negative 14. So that gives us our negative 26. Okay, so we have our numbers. Step 3, rewrite the original polynomial. 6x squared minus 12x minus 14x plus 28. Group. Factor this one first. 6x times x minus 2. Then we're going to take a negative 14 out here, which is going to leave us with x, and then minus 2. So matching terms, good sign. 6x minus 14 times x minus 2. And so this one is actually even more tricky because this first term, we can also still pull a 2 out of each of these. So let's just rewrite it up here. 2 times 3x minus 7 times x minus 2. So this could be a final answer. Or if you just wanted 2 terms, you could maybe multiply this over here into this one. They all kind of mean the same thing. I guess it's just how you want to deal with it. So this could be 2x minus 4. So if you just wanted two terms to represent your original polynomial, that's the way to do it.